Hey, how's it going? Today we are talking about the importance of taking out the trash. Do you smell that? What's going on? My name is Austin Bristow, and today we are talking about the computing term garbage in, garbage out, and how I think it relates to our personal lives. For those that don't know, garbage in, garbage out refers to the quality of data that's put into a database before you run a report. Let's say you own a business and you want to do some type of analysis on the customers who are purchasing your product. If their names don't have to be spelled right, if their zip codes don't have to be entered on the front end, if their addresses aren't formatted the right way, then when you go to run a report and get some type of analysis on the sales data, it's not going to be worth anything because you put garbage into the system ends up spitting garbage out. For me, this is something I think also applies to our brains. Yes, we have the ability to think and reason and use free will to make choices, unlike computers. However, I think our brains are very much impacted by the data that we put into them on a regular basis. For me, this hit home really hard when I was in high school. It was the early 2000s. You had 50 Cent ready to party like it was my birthday, Nelly asking everybody if they wanted to go on a ride with him, and Eminem at that point still had some, manners because he was at least politely asking people if they would stand up. This type of music totally dominated Top 40 radio, and that was all that I ended up listening to. I realized during basketball season, though, that it was actually starting to change the way that I thought. No, I was not LeBron James. Obviously, I'm not playing in the NBA now, so I was very prone to making mistakes during practice and during games. As I started to make these mistakes, though, I soon started basically just cussing myself out, which was totally uncharacteristic. Instead of building myself up and thinking about, okay, next time I'm going to do this instead, it was just a total belittlement of myself, or of my teammates if they made a mistake, or if I was walking down the hall behind a slow group of people. The thoughts that I was projecting towards those people were all extremely negative. This was uncharacteristic for me, and I realized the music I was listening to was changing the way that I was thinking. I was putting garbage in. My brain, as a result, started to output garbage as well. This doesn't just have to apply to music. I also think the books and magazines that we read, the movies and TV shows that we watch, the conversations we have with our family, our friends, our coworkers, all of these things are the data that we're putting into our brain on a regular basis. So the question for today is, are there things in your life that you could cut out that maybe are acting as a sort of garbage going into your brain? Maybe you've noticed yourself getting more pessimistic or more sarcastic than you usually are. Is there something happening or something that you're taking part in regularly now that might be contributing to that? A few years ago, I heard the phrase cultural toxin related to these types of, data sources. Now, toxin definitely sounds harsh, but when you think about what some of this stuff can do to the way that we think, the way that we project ourselves, it really could be considered a toxin. So if it's something that needs to be cut out, all it's going to do is create a positive change for us. If we're putting garbage in, then our brains are going to start creating garbage for the rest of the world, be it the way that we treat other people, the way that we act on a regular basis, or even the thoughts that we're having towards other people. All of these things can be changed if we focus more on what's important in our lives. One of the things that came to mind in wanting to share this message was a verse from Philippians chapter 4, verse 8. And I want to read it so I don't mess it up, but I think it really applies well to this topic of garbage in, garbage out. It says, whatever is true, honorable, or just, pure, lovely, or gracious, anything excellent or praiseworthy, think about these things. So if we spent every day keeping our mind focused on things that are pure, lovely, and just, how different would that make our impact on the world? It could be profound. So the encouragement for today is to take some time, do some introspection, think about what it is that you could cut out of your life, any cultural toxins that may be pulling you down, and see if you can't swap them out for something else that's more positive. That's all I've got for today. If you have yet to hit subscribe on the button below, I would kindly ask that you do so you know every time a new video is posted. And until then, you can always check out austinbristow.com for all of my previous posts. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll talk to you later.